And really, this is more just cleanup stuff. So for the arms, this will be really easy. Alt-tap the arms, go into solo mode. And we're just going to really quickly zremesh these things. So we're just going to do a slice curve, slice the top of these so they get their own polygroup. Of course, you can, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just do a mirror, and weld. So go ahead and slice the top of these things. Make sure you slice it to the top. You can mask and hit Control W if you want. I'm going to do a quick mirror, which for you will be deformation, mirror across the X, and then we'll do a quick mirror and weld, which for you will be under geometry, modify topology, mirror and weld. And of course, you can go ahead and do polish by features, which for you will be under the deformation menu. Polish by features to open circle, and that'll polish the heck out of those arms. Or you can do closed circle, polish by features, just to kind of polish those polygroup things. There's another thing you can do. If you just want to polish those polygroup borders, what you can do is hold down Control Shift, isolate this, go into masking, and you can just do mask by features border. So that'll go ahead and mask your border out. And then you can Control Shift to bring everything back, Control Tap to invert, and now you just have that border unmasked. And then you can go in here with your polish by features open circle and just mask that border or close circle. Sometimes that works. It actually seems to work a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is Control Shift, go back in my select rectangle, Control Shift drag, do a quick delete hidden, and then do a mask by border, invert that mask, and then just do a mask by polish by features. And it seems to be wanting to bring that in quite a bit, which isn't what I'm really looking for. So just undo back to that. So anyway, I'm just using this for a quick zremesh like we did for the other stuff. So I'm going to go up here to geometry, do zremesher. Let's do a target polygon count of just 1. And adapt the size down to 0. Keep groups on, so it keeps a crease or a line around that polygroup. Hit zremesh. And across the x-axis, that's great. This is actually not too bad of a cap, but if you want to, hold on Control Shift drag to isolate, delete hidden, geometry, modify topology, delete hidden, hover over an edge, close convex hole, and just cap it. Control Shift, Control W, there we go. And that looks very close. We'll do another, there we go, Control W. And now we've got a nice little arms here. We can hit D, give us our dynamic preview. We can have a bevel there, or we can go into move and just kind of pull these little arms up in here, like so. And we can also grab, alt tap these ones, go into your inflate brush, make your inflate brush pretty big, and just kind of inflate these arms out a little bit maybe. Maybe a little bit of move brush. Let me go in here and just kind of inflate his t-shirt out just a tad. And I'm also going to go in here, I'm going to hit Shift D, and I'm going to go onto this edge and do a quick bevel, edge loop complete, and then do a quick crease polygroup, and then D again. There we go. Alt tap his pants, go into move brush here and kind of smooth out some of these transitions here. And if you wanted to, while you were zremeshing, you can hit half and just keep hitting zremesh half until it gets that poly count down to something really low. I'll do that when I'm doing like t-shirts and stuff. But now let's go ahead and do the legs. Legs, very much the same deal as the arms. Just really quickly slice the top of here to make it its own polygroup, slice the bottom of here to make its own polygroup. And oh, it already had polygroups. Undo, undo. Hit Control W, and then slice. Control Shift, slice. Do a quick zremesh. You know what? Let's do a 0.5, really low. Adapt the size down to 0. Keep group zremesher. Oh, I have freeze groups turned on instead of keep groups. So what that did is it's trying to keep, it's freezing the number of polygons I have on there, so it's limiting me. It's saying, you know what, I can't make it any less because you want to freeze these polygroups. So I wanted to do keep groups, not freeze groups. Then zremesh half, half, half. Just keep hitting that button until it gets down to the poly count you want. That's super low. I'll go back up one, hit Control Z. Control Shift, grab my select rect. Control Shift to drag to ice to invert that. Do a quick delete hidden, modify geometry, modify topology, delete hidden, and we'll just quickly close, hover over an edge, space bar, close convex hole with our Z modeler brush, and just cap these things out. Control Shift, and we'll do an auto groups for these things, polygroups, auto groups in your tool menu, and then do a quick mirror and weld, modify geometry, mirror and weld, and we'll do a polish by features, deformation, polish by features. And that didn't really work. I don't want it to pinch too much on that thing. So I might just go in here manually and just hold down Shift to kind of just do a light smooth on these. Or another thing we can do, instead of doing polish by features, just go over here to your deformation menu and just try polish. Or I guess polish by features is better because it will keep these edges hard up here. And then we'll turn off polyframe, go into smooth mode. Hit D to go back into your dynamic preview if you want. And we'll move these legs back up. And now his legs got a little thin with all that polishing we were doing. So what I'm going to do is kind of even these out. And I'm just going to go in. I can do an overall inflate, but it looks like it's kind of getting thinner towards his knees. So I'm just going to go in manually and just use my inflate brush. If it's too much, just drop that Z intensity down on your inflate brush. And just kind of manually go in and kind of inflate the parts of his legs out where it needs to. Almost done here. We're going to select these here. These are probably still fine. They're a little bit big. So again, I'm going to scale these down. Just click an anchor point with E or scale selected, and then hold down Shift, and it's going to want to scale to your world. So turn on LSim to make that symmetry, that local scale here. I'll move this in here, and I can merge these with the boots as a Dynamesh and then zremesh, but I think I'll just go ahead and keep them separate just to keep it nice and clean. Move these around with move and rotate. Click his shoes here, and we'll just do a quick zremesh, target polygon count of 1. I don't need to keep groups unless I want to kind of slice the top of these. Let's go ahead and do it. Control Shift, slice curve, slice the tops, keep groups, not freeze groups, but keep groups, target polygon count of 1, mirrored across the X symmetry. We can go ahead and cap these. Control Shift, select rectangle. Control Shift tap, Control Shift drag, delete hidden, geometry modified topology, delete hidden, edge, close, convex hole, hover over an edge, space bar with your Z modeler brush, Control Shift, Control W, and now we've got those two here. And you can also do another half and knock these down even more, but I guess this will be okay. Go in here and hold down Shift to smooth any weirdo transitions or inflate or your basic sculpting stuff you want to even his little heel out. There we go.